watching Let's Chat.
You've heard us talking about our Scenic City deals of the week, and I got to tell you, this is a Scenic City deal you do not want to miss, especially if you like barbecue. From Charlie's BBQ and Bakery, it is Elizabeth and Wes. Elizabeth, good to see you.
Good to see you.
Wes, how are you?
Hi, Chip. Good.
Charlie's BBQ and Bakery, you guys repurposed this building on Main Street that had been there forever, and I love what you've done to the building, both inside and outside, and we're going to talk more about that here in a moment. How long have you been in the barbecue business? Let me rephrase that. How long has the barbecue business been in you?
Probably 15 years.
15 years?
The restaurant business has been in me 35.
35 years. And the barbecue that you guys do, Elizabeth, what sets it apart from some of the other barbecue places around town?
One of the major differences is that it's dry rubbed and hickory smoked. A lot of the barbecue you get in this area we found is comes to your table already sauced.
Which is a no-no.
Yeah.
You don't want that.
No, you want to be able to taste the meat.
Sure.
That's what we do the best, so we don't want to hide it with the sauce.
Don't disrespect the meat.
Yeah.
Right.
And if you've been around a barbecue pit or barbecue joints or barbecue restaurants long enough, you know if the meat is done properly, you really don't need any sauce after all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But if you do decide you want some sauce, you guys make yours in-house.
We do. We make all of our dry rubs, and we do our sauces as well.
So you do the dry rubs in-house as well. And I think the effort certainly pays off. So we're going to start at one end of the table, and we're going to work our way to the other one. Since the staff was nice enough to leave me a knife, Jess is over there shaking her head going, oh God, no, don't let him have a knife. Anyway, ribs. Tell us about the secret behind your delicious ribs.
We use a different kind of rib. It's a St. Louis style, and we smoke them for about 4 hours, and they come off fresh all day long.
Difference between St. Louis and the baby back ribs.
The baby back rib it's considered to be the prime cut of the ribs. They're a little smaller,
Right.
not as meaty, and tend to dry out quicker.
How do you know when you take a slab of ribs like this off the pit or out of the smoker, how do you know when they are done? I know the answer to this, but some folks may not.
When they're wavy and floppy.
When they're what?
When they're wavy, and you can hold it and
When they're wavy and
bends.
floppy. That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
You can bend it easy.
Yeah.
You can pull it apart. That's when you know it's done.
Right.
And then, of course, when you sink your teeth into it, it's a whole new.
It's
Yeah.
Ribs have really picked up. People have
Yeah.
found our ribs and like them.
Sure, understood. And what do you get when you order a slab of ribs like this?
Well, go ahead, Elizabeth.
The slab of ribs we sell by itself. Of course, you can always get a rib plate. It
Right.
comes with 4 bones and 2 sides and a drink and a piece of bread.
Wow, can't beat that. I would ask if you raise the wheat that you make your own bread with. but
No.
I'm sure you're you'll be working on
No.
that here the next time we see you.
No.
If you're not really sure what you want when you go in to eat, you can start off with a great appetizer like this, which essentially is a whole meal. Tell me about the nachos.
That's become one of our more popular items. We have nachos, and you can get pork or brisket or chicken on top of it. And they're huge. They're a meal in itself. Sometimes people will get some and they'll split it between a family
Right.
before they actually order their dinner.
Good little appetizer while you're making your mind up on some of the other delicious items that you guys have got. Before we get on to this other side of the table, I want to ask you this. Catering. You guys do, and I've seen your vehicle out a lot lately. Saw it at the at the event at the zoo over the weekend. How's the catering aspect of your business going?
Our catering it's beginning to take hold. We are right now weddings, pharmaceutical reps,
Right.
office parties, birthday parties at the restaurant.
Yeah.
It's really picking up. We've not had a Saturday in the last 8 weeks that
Wow.
we've not had a fairly large catering.
Yeah.
Now that says something in and of itself. As Jess and I were talking about at the beginning of the show, everyone's heard of chicken and waffles, which, and I've tried it a couple, 3 times, it's not my thing. Barbecue waffle, that is my thing. How do we do this here?
That's a slightly sweet cornbread waffle, so kind of like the sweet cornbread your grandma would make.
Yeah?
And it just pairs really well with my favorite's the pork. A lot of people get it with brisket or chicken, but you can't go wrong with the pulled pork on it.
No, you certainly can't. And what's on top of this?
Coleslaw and a little drizzle of sauce because it doesn't need much.
No, I would think it does not. And also, like we were talking about, you should try like a sunny side up egg or maybe an over easy egg right on top of that.
Next time I see you, you'll have an egg.
Wait and see.
A nice
You
over
wait
easy
and
egg.
see. The classic all-American sandwich. Tell me.
That is our slow cooked brisket. People ask what we do to it. We make our own rub
Right.
in-house. We rub it, and she spends about 15 hours in the smoker.
I saw a couple of pieces of this brisket close up at the event at the zoo, and I told you the bark on that brisket looked like it was photoshopped on. It was so pretty. It really was.
Thank you.
And some folks may not know what the bark is.
Well, the bark is
Essentially, the
It's
smoke
here.
ring plus the seasonings
That's
on
the
top
seasoning where it cooks slow. The bark forms. People think it's burnt. It's
Yeah, I know.
not burnt. When
Yeah.
you taste it, you get all the flavor from the meat,
Sure.
the spices, and just a little bit of the fat.
And
you have to have the fat.
Your prices are very much in check. CBS had a story earlier this morning about the astronomical price of brisket. It's gone through the roof, but you guys at Charlie's are keeping it
Yeah.
right on down the line. All right, this is what I would call a killer potato, a monster potato. I don't know what you call it, but I call it incredible.
We call it as big as your head.
I
It's
can
huge.
believe that. And this thing is huge. This has got to weigh, that's a pound and a half
well,
easy.
the potato itself is 12 ounces before we put anything in it.
Right?
So it's probably an 18-ounce potato.
Oh, yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And of course, it's Charlie's Bakery, Charlie's Barbecue and Bakery. You can get delicious desserts like this.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Again, this is our Scenic City deal. You can't beat it. $50 certificates, only $25. Get them while they last, and it won't be long. It's at WDEF.com. While you're at WDEF.com, make sure and check them out. Vote them for the best barbecue joint in the Tennessee Valley. Charlie's Barbecue and Bakery on Main Street.